Well, welcome back, family. Welcome back. This is the Talented 10 Coach Jay coming back at you with some more content as we continue our journey to build black wealth for the black family. And we know that these wealth principles we're talking about can apply to anybody, but once again, as W.E.B. Du Bois talked about, blacks who have attained a certain level of success to go back and train our people because guess what? Most people are not going to give you this information that you're going to receive. This information is available to everybody, and math works for anyone the same way if you apply the principles. However, black people have been given a bad end of the stick, as I always say. And a lot of times we don't have access to this information for whatever reason, even though we got a lot of information at our fingertips, but we have learned to distrust people who don't look like us because we have been giving a bad end of the bargain. We look at Black Wall Street, and there's other situations that have taken place where when blacks start succeeding, or being successful financially in the business world and acquiring wealth, that it has always been something happens to make sure that blacks remain in their place. It's America. It's the American dream, the American dream, the American way. Unfortunate, even though blacks have built this country for free, our ancestors literally have built this country for free. We have served in every conflict in this nation faithfully. And then back in the early years in the 1900s, the early 1900s, come back from war and couldn't even be giving the VA home loan that everybody else was walking into because we were black. So we're going to go ahead and take advantage of everything that we can because everybody else have. So why not us? Why not us? Just because my skin is black, should I be a second-class citizen in this nation? Those days are over with. And our people have served this nation for free over 246 years and counting in some cases because it's all about economics. Slavery wasn't even about your color, our color, the blackness. It was about getting free labor to build wealth for somebody that didn't look like me. That's what slavery is about. It wasn't about color. It was about when you have financial wealth and you have land that was given to you, because we weren't immigrants. All the immigrants come over and they get stuff even to this day. But we were native blacks. Not giving anything. What happened to the 40 acres and a mule? So, since we know that we're not going to get 40 acres and a mule, we're not going to get reparations that we're due, we got to now, as black people, take advantage of the tax code. We got to first of all start learning to read because all the information is there, and I'll share with you about the Secure Act 2.0 of 2022. That information is the same for everyone in America. You're a legal citizen. Let's take advantage of some of these principles so that we can now start building wealth for ourselves, because you always got to put on your mask first before you can put on your mask for anyone else. When I was in the military, and I served 22 years in the military, and my son is serving currently now, and he's got about 50, he's going on 15 years, and but I remember going through the gas chamber. That's what we called it back then when I was going through basic training, and everybody had to go through the gas chamber, and at some point you had to take your mask off, okay, to experience what it smelled like, that gas. But I'm reminded of also in training is that now if something happens, you got to ensure you put on your gas mask first before you assist someone else. Guess why? You can't help anybody else if you've passed out trying to put theirs on and you can't get yours on, and fumbling around trying to get theirs on, can't get theirs on. You got to put yours on first, and then you go take care of the next person you're combating arms. Just like if you're on an airplane, even if you have children. Of course, we want to take care of our children, but we got to get our stuff on first, as they always say. The flight attendants, when they give their little briefing before every flight, put your mask on first, and then put on the mask of the other folks around you. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about building wealth with this Roth IRA. Once again, Senator William Roth, he introduced this bill to Congress back in, last time I said 79, but I got my numbers reversed, but it was 1997, and it got passed. It was legislated, and it got passed, and it's a wealth building tool for all U.S. citizens. If you have earned income, you can contribute to your Roth IRA. And for the year of 2024, we know the tax limit is $7,000. So if you make $7,000 of earned income, you're able to contribute $7,000 into your Roth IRA. And once it is taxed at that point, but later when you go to pull the money out in the compound growth, you're never taxed on that money again. Tremendous wealth building tool that all Americans can participate in if they have earned income. So, and we'll be talking later on how to do this for our children. Say, for instance, you have a business. You can set up your child as an employee, whether they're a 1099 worker or a W-2 worker, whichever one you choose. If they have earned income from working for you in your business, say they're a baby and you're using them for portraits for your business or whatever you're doing, or maybe they're a little bit older and they're able to clean your office. If you have a business in your home that you can write out the office space, that's another thing that the IRS allows in Internal Revenue Code. It's legal and it's right because they like small businesses. They want businesses to be able to be have sufficiency to be able to have employees, because that helps the whole economy, because they're going to get taxes. Why not give you some incentives so you can employ people? That's why the big corporate America, the corporate tax or very little, because they're employing people. Those employees are paying taxes to the government to keep this whole economic system working. So what we want to do is to be able to get to a level of success, to be able to now take advantage of what's available to us through these mechanisms, through these vehicles. And we're talking about the Roth IRA. The Roth IRA is a tremendous tool. Once again, Senator Roth, he introduced it to Congress and it was legislated in 1997. And it's one leg of the stool that we have to use later on in life. And I talked about, I'm going to go a little bit into this. I talked about index funds. Index funds have lower expense ratios. And basically, if you go to any of these companies, and I like to use, the top ones, Vanguard, Fidelity, or Charles Schwab, T. Rowe Price, you got all these ones you can choose from. You go in and set up an account of any of these brokerage accounts, and you'll set it up. And then once you set it up, now you got to fund it. And there are different, you can pick managed mutual funds to fund it. But they have expense ratios that are like 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, some of them 5%. And what you want to do is you're trying to get the best bang for your buck so that you can pay less fees and as your money continue to grow. Because if you look at 3% versus 0.01 or 2 or 3%, 0.012 or 3%, not 3%, but 0.012%. You look at that. Say, for instance, you carry a balance, once you're in your Roth IRA, you carry a balance of $1 million. Even though you're pulling money off, you got the inflation, whatever that is for that year. We'll never know what that is until it happens for that year. I know last year it got up to like 8.5%. So if you got 8.5% and your money's drawing 10%, I mean, you only got basically a year, I'm sorry, $1.50, 1.5% continue to compound. But if you got 3%, you're now going in a negative. So think about that. Think about that. So anyway, we're here to try to strategize and to be able to give you some information to be able to go forward and build wealth, not only for yourself, but future generations. And this is one leg of the stool with this Roth IRA. I like this. This says poor people live paycheck to paycheck. Rich people live year to year, but wealthy people live generation to generation. We're trying to build generational wealth for the black family. Because a lot of other families, they're born into wealth. And a lot of them have their trust funds set up where they can't use this money to serve. And we want to get to that same level. But in the process, we got to build it first. And some of us, we're first time wealth builders, whatever wealth look like to you. Wealth may be, okay, you may not have multi-million dollars, but you got enough money where you no longer have to exchange your time for money. That's the level we want to get to. We want to get to the level where we're not working hard, but our money is working harder for us while we sleep than we work for our money. We want to get to the point where we're no longer working 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, working and then paying all these taxes. We want to get to the point where, okay, I got this Roth IRA set aside. I'm ready to exit the scene at 59 and a half, because that's when you can start pulling money off without being penalized or without being taxed. And all that money is tax-free money. And you're pulling it out. And you're not working. You're not exchanging your time for money anymore. That's the level we want to get to. And once we get to that level, we can really enjoy life. And if perhaps we leave up out of here in the next 10 years after that, we still got all this money that we can leave over to our heirs, our beneficiaries, whoever you have. Make sure when you go in to set up these accounts and you fund these accounts into an index fund that's got the lower fees. And now we want to set up our beneficiaries on there, because once you set up your beneficiaries on there, that supersedes a will. Come on, we got to get this. We don't just want to set up our account and then it's just hanging out there in the settlement fund. Now we want to get it to where it's going into an index fund in our IRA, individual retirement arrangement, Roth, and then we want to set up the beneficiaries, and we want to actually tell them, hey, you're my beneficiary in the event something happens to me, and this is how you to go get this money, because guess what? We're all going to leave up out of here one day. Whether we're 59 and a half, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. All right, so we want to look at this and we want to build wealth. We want to get to the point where we're wealthy people, where we're no longer exchanging our time for money. Money is working for us while we sleep. And we're doing it through this vehicle called the Roth IRA. The Roth IRA. This year, the most we can put in there if we're under 50 years old is $7,000. This is the year of 2024. And if you're 50 and above, it's called a catch-up contribution of $1,000. I know I'm saying the same thing, but some of you are just now jumping in. Please go back and check out all the prior videos, because it will help you build. Every segment is building upon each other, just like you build a house. You start with a blueprint. So we got to understand, what is your why? How much does it cost for me to live once I get 59 and a half and I no longer want to exchange my time for money? I want to now start drawing that. What is that? And then we can backwards plan, and that's what we've been doing. We're building upon the blueprint. People say budget, I call it a blueprint. Because budget is a bad word in a lot of people's lives. You got 15 seconds left, so I want to build upon this blueprint. Then we got the foundation. Now we're going up as we build this house of wealth for the black family. So I trust you will continue to follow us. Follow me, the Talented 10th Financial Coach Jay. Talk to you later.